Hey guys, it's Richie the WizKid here from the Best Darn Diddly Review Show, and I'm here to talk to you about PopThreads.com, your number one source for finding awesome nerdy t-shirts. Are you sick from not knowing what to wear when you go out with all your friends on the weekends? Well, don't have a cow, man. Go to PopThreads.com, and if you use the code Simpsons at checkout, you can save 15% on all your t-shirt needs.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Best Darn Diddly Review Show. This is a weekly podcast for anyone who loves The Simpsons or ever has loved The Simpsons, hosted by two dudes that grew up on The Simpsons. My name is Miles, better known as MrMostDaysOff, and we are so excited to be back for Season 6. In fact, we're so excited we brought friends along to talk with us, or a friend along to talk with us. But first, let me introduce to you, as always, your co-host with the most, Richie the WizKid. How you doing today, Rich?
I'm always excited when you introduce me like that. That was amazing. I mean, I am a friend that you're bringing along today, so I'm happy to be here. I hope the show goes well.
In spite or despite of you? Wait, which one?
I was just joking. We're not talking about me. I'm always here. That's right, though. We have a fun guest today, and this is one of their favorite episodes, so we're not going to waste any time. I'll go ahead and throw it back to you. The man, the myth, the Millpool. It is Miles.
It's more like Millpool.
I was going to go with the Tinkler, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Both seem very appropriate, but let's go ahead and get right to our guest. You've actually heard her on this show before, just in between both of her husbands. I'll let her explain that one in a minute. She is 1/3 of the Derailers Podcast. Let's welcome to Best Darn Diddly, Jenny Bean. How you doing today, Jenny?
Good. Hi, guys. I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
And just to be clear, your name's not Jenny Goobs?
No, I'm not Jenny Goobs. I'm my own woman.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm Jenny Bean, okay.
All right.
So, Jenny Bean, since I threw it out, again, we've heard you on the show. It was the Monorail, Marge vs. the Monorail episode, which I know is another favorite of yours. You chose this season to come on for Bart of Darkness, which, as a Alfred Hitchcock fan, I'm very excited to talk about with you.
You and me both.
But before we get into all that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast, The Derailers?
Okay, so Derailers is pretty much a podcast about everything and absolutely nothing. We kind of just start with a topic. We go all over the place, wherever our brains take us, which is kind of, here, there, and everywhere. We also kind of dip our toes slightly into audio drama with our Hero Naysay we have going on over there. So, yeah, that's about it. It's just me and my husband and my second husband, pretty much. And, yeah, we just talk shit.
I love how you guys do things up there in Canada. That's hot.
It's all right. It's what we do. We share the love in Canada. Okay, we don't hate.
Doors open, and so are the marriages, folks.
Totally. Why not? Only in the friendship sense, though. Okay, let's not get this twisted here. I only sleep with one of them.
Right. What are they? Brother husbands?
Yeah. My brother husbands. Yeah.
There you go.
Good old husbands.
We're, of course, talking about Ripken and Goobs, who've all been on this show. We had Ripken on solo to discuss Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling last season. And we're going to have Goobs on next season, I believe, for the episode the Lollapalooza episode. I cannot say that word. Yeah, whatever that one is. I think it's the one where, Homerpalooza. Thank you. I think it's where Homer gets shot with a cannonball and ends up going on tour, if I remember correctly, with like the Smashing Pumpkins. Or I may be way off on that. I don't even know.
It's hilarious.
We'll be smiling politely either way.
Just like a Canadian, see? You're already learning.
That's the Canadian way. So right, Richie and I both have had the pleasure of coming on the Derailers, and I have to say, for someone who's basically a walking case of ADD like myself, it is like the best podcast because you have no constraints, no boundaries. I love doing Best Darn Diddly, don't get me wrong, but it's very much a more structured show by comparison, because I remember when I was on, we started by talking about one of my favorite movies, Evil Bong, and we went basically everywhere else.
Oh, we sure did, yeah.
You guys are like, we have to stop, we've gone on too long, and I could have kept going for forever. I was having such a good time.
That's the one thing I don't like about it, is that, so we'll finally stop, because, every show has a time limit, so we stop, and then it's like, I think of 200 other million things, and we sit there talking about it forever. And I'm like, why didn't we just record this too? But yeah, especially, like, I mean, the three of us probably all have ADD, so it kind of, I just don't feel, I can't do structure sometimes, so,
You gotta let yourself be free sometimes. It makes sense.
Sometimes you just want to, like, throw a thought in there, and that's what that show's good for, right? So
just have a cereal bar and have a great conversation. It'll be a great time.
You know how Canada works. With our bag milk, don't forget.
It's Canada dope, I hear.
Well, soon, come July, hopefully.
Yeah, that'll be good for everyone.
Totally, man. I mean, like, again, it's Canada. What are we gonna do?
I think that's like the whole country slogan, right?
Pretty much.
What you gonna do?
Sorry and thank you. We're definitely on there. Sorry, but what you gonna do? Thank you for your time. Love Canada.
That's the country in just nutshell right there, folks.
Pretty much. A lot of people really love hockey too, so you could add that in there.
Oh, you gotta have the hockey. That's absolutely the case. Unruly hockey fans.
Oh yeah, we get vicious, man.
It's the one time you're not polite. It's the strangest thing. It's like everybody is like, oh, sorry, can I help you to your seat? And then as soon as like somebody says something about the other team, it's like, holy shit, it's on, Canada.
It's kind of like, how like, you got it, man. It's like how moms are with their kids. Like, you don't tell a mom like her kid is ugly or something, she'll freak, right? So it's like that's how Canada holds their hockey. Like, that's our baby, man.
No, I totally will tell a mom that their kid's ugly. I have two nephews, and their parents just had a little girl, and she's an ugly baby. No, she's an ugly baby. I mean, I love her. Don't get me wrong.
But straight up,
she is not attractive. I mean, you look at it's like lumpy, and her face is kind of squished up, and like
kind of alien.
I mean, you can put a bow on it all you want. It's not going to make it any better.
She'll grow into her cuteness.
She'll
grow into her face.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll be adorable one day, but today is not that day.
No, but man, I hear you. Some babies are not the most pleasant, but
there go all our listeners.
Hey, everybody's thought that a baby looks like an alien, so don't worry.
Best Darn Diddly is the only podcast where you're going to get straight answers on if your baby's ugly or not.
Send us your pictures. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
More than likely, yes.
Tweet them at us.
Yeah. Imagine, and then you're going to be like, ugly baby, and people are going to be haters. That's not nice.
So, trying to get this structure back on the track here. So, Jenny, we are, of course, the Simpsons podcast, and we are going to be talking about one of your favorite episodes today. Mm-hmm. But before we dive into the episode, why don't you tell us just a little bit in general, some of your earliest memories of The Simpsons? How old were you when you started watching? Was it something you were allowed to do, or was it kind of considered a little bit of a taboo in your household?
Yeah, so my parents are pretty strict. My dad was in the Army. Like, he retired from it when I was born, but so that just kind of gives you an idea of what kind of parents I had. When Simpsons first came out, it was like absolutely no way was I allowed to watch it. I don't think I was allowed to watch it probably until I was like 10, maybe older. Yeah, so, but I loved it. Like, once I was allowed to watch it, I watched it all the time. And, I remember sitting with, once my dad thought I was old enough to watch it, I'd sit with him and watch it. And, that's about it, really.
Did they ever watch it before you watched it? Like, was that something your dad would watch on his own? And then
I think so. Because in my mind, how would you know I can't watch it if you don't watch it?
That's a valid point, yeah. And
straight up, now that I'm an adult, I find it a lot more funnier than I ever did when I was a kid. So I think, like, my dad probably thought, okay, it's appropriate for, like, an adult. But, I mean, you can see why some parents wouldn't want their kids watching it. When you're an impressionable child and there's children.
Martin's getting pantsed.
That and
17 times.
Like, not listening to their parents. And, like, like I said, my household was pretty strict growing up. So, but, yeah, once I was allowed to watch it, I was right into it. I loved it. So,
what's the first episode that you remember seeing?
Oh, God, man, my memory is really not that good, honestly. I don't remember.
Just say Simpsons roasting on an open fire.
There you go. You got it. You read my mind.
Wow, yeah, that was it. I didn't remember until just now.
Yeah, I don't remember, honestly. Like,
That's cool. Since you mentioned it and you were in that strict household, were there ever any, like, were you one of the people that would maybe go to their friend's house and kind of get to peek at a few episodes whenever you knew you weren't supposed to? Because we've talked to a lot of people that actually made their fondness of The Simpsons grow because it had that forbidden fruit element to it.
Let's see. How do I say this nicely? Jenny was not the most popular with the friends, so no, not really. Like, if I did ever go to a friend's house, we were just doing, like, I don't know, whatever.
Drugs?
Not at 10, but a few years later, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, and only a few years later.
The tone of that conversation sounded like we were going that direction.
Yeah.
It was when her parents finally said she was old enough to have drugs, and she was like, fine, I'm ready.
Oh my God, they still don't think I'm old enough to have drugs, okay?
Parents
I'm
just
trying to
didn't
explain to my
understand.
mom about weed because it's becoming legal, and she's like, I still don't want you to do it. But she knows, like, come on.
Yeah, no.
It kills me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, like, have this, like, thin veil, but then, like, you know, I got to the point where I just meet people, and it's just like, well, they know, I mean.
Well, that's it, right? And I don't know, once you hit a certain age, too.
Just who cares, yeah,
like,
exactly.
who cares? Like, I don't, like, now at this point, I don't care, right? So,
Well, I mean, outside of the law cares, but outside of them, nobody cares.
but see, in Canada, the law doesn't care, because in Canada, we have better things to do than looking for one person smoking a joint on the street. They just, like, if you were seriously to call the cops, they just ignore it. Like, in downtown Toronto, even though it's not legal, you can walk smoking a joint right past a cop, and they'll say, how you doing? Like, that's it. They won't say anything to you.
Oh, tell me more about the magical land of Canada.
I know, right? Like, oh, man, it's so great.
That does sound really great.
We have free healthcare, which is awesome.
Let's not talk about that.
I know, man. Like, I couldn't imagine having to pay to go to a doctor. Like, to me, that's crazy. So,
well, I mean, it really worked out well for your brother husband Ripken up there.
Oh my
recently.
God!
I mean, and I think that has to at least be part of the reason you chose to come on for this episode, right? Is because you've been watching Ripken sitting up with a cast on his 9-toed or his 4-toed foot, I should say.
Okay, so I sat there and I was thinking that, like, if he didn't have his mom. Because obviously, like, he needs someone to help take care of him. He can't walk. He can't do anything, right? Like,
I saw the picture. It is pretty bad.
So, but I always thought that he would be like Rear Window Bart in this. That would be him if he was at his house by himself. That's all he'd do is just sit there and, like, people watching shit. So
we're just going to see his eyes get darker and darker as the longer it goes without him getting outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello,
right?
Miss Pennyweather.
I see a change in poor Ripken now that he can't walk so much, you know, can't get around on his own anymore. So
well, hopefully he'll at least get, like, a really sweet cane out of the deal. Like, I think, like, that's
totally.
Yeah, I mean, like, we know it's going for
cane.
Christmas, right? Yeah, definitely.
And we got to get the perv mirrors on it, right? Like
upskirts.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
gotta put them up well. So
yeah, we're gonna give him.
Okay, I'm disabled. That's how you do it, and then it's okay to look.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure you get to run red lights when you're like that too. You just yell that out your window as you drive through the intersection.
I didn't know we could do that.
In Canada,
I just think
we do whatever we want. I'm kidding.
I just think Ripken is so in tune with The Simpsons that part of him just wanted to be more like them. So he's like, I gotta lose a toe. He's just gonna do it one limb at a time. We're gonna see him 4 fingers and 4 toes.
I give him tons of credit though, man. I haven't seen anyone who's had such a positive attitude and, like, you know, he still has a sense of humor and he's doing well. So his recovery's coming along well. So
we're giving him shit, obviously, but we love
of course,
Ripken,
that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. We hope you get better soon, buddy. I know he's one of our listeners. I know he'll be checking this out, and definitely hope you get buddy soon.
Shaking his fist at me, fucking Jen.
Oh, I expect retaliation on the next Derailers podcast, I'm sure.
Oh, probably.
With everything he's been towing the last couple of weeks, I'm really proud of him.
Oh, yeah.
I give you an air high five for that one. That was
Thank
funny.
you.
Because I feel too guilty to rip, like Goobs will rip on him about it, but I, like, just feel so bad.
Oh yeah, we don't have that problem here. That won't be an issue.
I feel terrible, you know. But
Well, he actually told me that he was trying to send a message to his other toes that they need to get in line. So I feel like he opened the door to
hey,
do
Pop,
a
ship out.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
All right, well, I guess that's enough ripping on Ripken for right now. Let's go ahead and get into our episode, Bart of Darkness, which originally aired on September 4th, 1994. The chalkboard gag on this one is beans are neither fruit nor musical.
Which killed.
Yeah, that was really good.
Like, that was my dad's favorite thing. So every time I see that, I just think of him.
That's sweet. That makes a lot of sense, too. It's very much a dad joke type of thing.
Totally.
Absolutely. I also really like the couch gag on this one. It is a new couch gag, I do believe. We see the Simpsons basically doing wall sits where there is no couch, but they're still posed as if there is. And then the couch runs in, disassembled in pieces, and kind of reassembles itself in the Simpsons' lap. It's just great. It reminds me of that episode of Rick and Morty where they're going through the different possibilities of, I think it's like the TV episode, the intergalactic table.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
There's like the universe where couches are ordering pizza or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pizza ordering humans.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
Oh, man, that show's
Except the
great.
couch crushes the Simpsons at the end of this gag.
Yeah.
True.
Couch is like, no, thank you.
I will point out that just like we talked about at the beginning of last season, this episode is actually a holdover from season 5 that got moved to the first position of season 6 in this case. And because of that, it actually kind of switched positions a little bit of where it was supposed to release, because initially they wanted this episode to release at the beginning of summer because they thought that would kind of like add to the impact of Bart missing out as kids were getting out of school. You know, there'd be a little bit more empathy for the character, but because of the way it got scheduled, it ended up coming around at the end of the summer when school is just getting started again. Seems to have still worked out. This is still a very highly rated episode.
I feel like, was it not like delayed because of an earthquake or something too?
It was delayed because of an earthquake.
Like the writing of it. They said that I saw that it took like a month longer. So that's why you'll find things in this episode that are like, you know, really niche-y.
Yeah, it was actually the Northridge earthquake in California that happened in '94, and it was a brutal earthquake. It was one you've probably seen images where like the bridges were collapsed, the highway bridges. This has happened many times, but this was a big one, and it actually ended up having the Simpsons move out of their production company for 3 months while they made repairs for the structural damage that occurred while they were, you know, supposed to be working. And yeah, through all the moving around and everything, you're right. They absolutely ended up with an extra month. And that's why you see a lot of things in this episode that are very highly polished. They got to go back over several scenes and really punch them up multiple times where they usually might not have as much time to do just that.
Look at that. Jenny coming on being the smartest guest yet. I like it.
Boom.
Nice. Yeah. Keep those guns on the holster. I like that. That's awesome.
Gotta be like Texan. Sorry.
It's pew pew.
Pew,
I
pew,
know,
pew,
right?
pew.
Like so Canadian of me over here to screw it up. Sorry about that, man.
Well, you've probably never seen a gun before. We understand. It's fine.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
And speaking of things that are from Texas, this episode starts out with something that we're going to have to explain to you probably slowly because of the Canadian aspect. But in this case, what they're talking about, Jenny, is down here, the sun actually gets really hot, like to the point where it can actually cause fires in your shirt if you're looking through a magnifying glass. The elderly will just start. Yeah. The elderly will start having conversations with the sun. Wax museum exhibits get melted into puddles. Yeah, this is something that we deal with each and every summer in Texas. That
it gets that hot, right?
Every single year.
That's not even a joke. I've stuck my head in the freezer quite a few number of times in my life.
See, man, I don't know. I hate the sun. The sun hates me. I would die down in Texas. Like, I think I would seriously just die.
We really want you to come visit, but
I
like you have to visit in the spring or the fall or the winter because you can't come during the summer. You're not cut out for that, Canada.
No, Canada's not built for that at all. Not this Canada girl.
It's not that we don't want you here. It's for your own good. We just want to make sure that part's clear. It's not like we're trying to put up a wall in between our countries or anything.
We only open the doors for the off seasons. Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it, man, I tell you.
Well, we do it just like Homer does. We all actually, in Texas, they sell tents that directly connect to the refrigerator.
Your fridge?
Yeah, we just crank those bitches up to 10, and we live in the fridge.
Which is amazing. I wish I could do.
We got the idea because the fridge is cold.
Yeah, see, that's it.
And I think Simpsons did it, so...
No, I absolutely love this whole scene, though. Just this whole concept.
It's so funny, yeah.
It creates such a visual, like just the scene with no dialogue. When they open up and you see the tent connected to the fridge, you instantly know it's Homer. You instantly know
Yeah.
where this is going, and it delivers. The only part that I think is a little bit hard to believe is that Marge even begins to get on board with it at all. But clearly she's just so hot that she's
at the same time, the
delirious.
heat does something to you where you're like, I've had enough. That's it.
What I don't understand is, why is Bart wearing his shoes?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's just
Is it not an American thing to wear shoes in the house, though? Because in Canada, you take your shoes off at the door. Like, you wear your shoes in the house and you're that jerk. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow. That's good
You're
to
the one
know if I
everyone
ever
complains
travel.
about. Oh, yeah. Canada, we don't like shoes.
Buddy's friend guy.
That's right.
No, and honestly, the shoes in the house thing makes a lot of sense. I don't know, and you are correct that I don't know if it's all Americans. I know there are some places that will ask you, like, some homes ask you to take your shoes off at the front door. Most don't, though. I mean, I usually don't wear shoes around my house, but at the same time, if I'm just running in for a minute to grab something, I totally am not taking my shoes off.
Yeah. But I think it's a little bit different in Texas, too, though, because of how hot it is all the time.
It's
like,
a
as soon as you get
weather thing,
inside,
right?
you're like, flip-flops off, and I'm good to go.
And true, like, you guys don't have snow and rain like we do here. So, I mean, really, you're not going to wear your snowy boots into the house, right? Like,
if the snow lasts long enough to, like, it's usually going to melt between the time we actually get in it to the time we get back to our front door.
yeah, see, not us. Not us at all. Soaks through.
At least here in Texas, we do have the Texas chili trucks that come by serving hot
Okay,
pipe
is that
in
a real
Texas.
thing? Because that was
Oh,
like
yeah.
thing for you. That and the what was it? Boiling Texas hot ginger ale. I'm
Okay.
like, what the hell is this?
The boiling ginger ale thing is a little bit of a joke. We usually drink it room temperature or just slightly heated, not boiling.
Okay.
But Texas chili trucks are the dopest, and you can get them in like all sorts of flavors with all sorts of extra, like different types of chili. So you can get like jalapeno chili or habanero chili or ghost pepper chili, which is honestly borderline too hot, but it's the best thing. I wish
Is it from
they'd come
southern
by
Sri Lanka?
I wish they'd come by